It's my pleasure today to demonstrate a little bit of our Softek storage manager for you and show you what we believe is one of the finest products out on the street. As you can see, one of the things that we've been doing for a period of time is we've been slowly watching how storage is utilized. What we tend to do is, instead of trying to come up with a set criteria that we force our customer into, what we do is we look at your policies and procedures and provide you with a tool that's going to allow you to do things the way that you do things. The storage manager that we have here is a very simple interface that goes across multiple platforms, including all the way from mainframe, the Windows environment, on into AIX. One of the advantages to this is that you're not cross-training all of your administrators on the different specifics to an OS. They don't have to learn the command structure or how an AIX box works or how a Windows device works, because with the subtle differences that are there, we're going to give you a command tool that allows them to do those commands in the background. What I've got here is a very simple, the first screen that we have up, and what it does is it is actually showing a series of file systems that are out on the given individual hosts. Using a passive client that's out there, so there's not a lot of chatting back and forth, we request this information, which comes on back. One of the things you see is that there's a threshold over, file systems over threshold here. And depending on how you want to watch your file systems, we've set it up so that at a given percentage, it gives you an indication of what's happening in your systems. As you can see on the AIX box, I actually have 3 file systems that are well underutilized. I also have 2 that have been redlined. The reason for that is that I've set up that box to notify me at 75%, let me know when that file system's getting full. So instead of being in a total react force where as an application server or something actually gets overfilled and you have to bring storage to that device and you're in total chaos of trying to get it sorted out, we're going to give you a forewarning and allow you to go ahead and manipulate, change your data, do what you need to do before it happens. Some of the things that we do as well on this is that we actually have set up an auto provisioning feature. And what happens is that if the server actually fills up to 80% capacity, it goes to what we call an SPE, a storage provisioning engine. That storage provisioning engine will automatically go grab a piece of storage that you've pre-prepared for it and add it over to the server, notifying that administrator and you that it's given that storage over to the server. Then the administrator can go in and do what he needs to do to actually access it and bring it online. One of the things, as you can see here, we've set up a series of command lines. And I'll do something simple. I'm going to do a series of files on any file system. And I'm going to use one of my presets here. What I'm going to ask for is I'm going to ask for the 100 largest files on all the servers that are in my little mini environment here that haven't been accessed in the last 10 months. So I just click it, tell it to go. And as it looks through the system and through the stored data, what it'll do is it'll come up and give me a list here. Now I can specify what type of files, what extensions of files, what it needs to find. Now you pre-stage this so that if you have a series of things, say at midnight you would like to go ahead and delete all the temp files that are out there, you can go ahead and do that in an action set that we allow you to create. One of the things that this brings into play for you is your backup window. A lot of times when you're doing your backups over a given series of file systems, what you're actually doing is backing up everything. There are files out there that don't need to be backed up. A good example is my friends always seem to download a lot of MP3s and movie files. You can set up an action set that at midnight actually goes out, takes a look around and says, at midnight I want you to launch, go find all the MP3 files and either delete them right away, or it could be as simple as provide me a report so that I can go back to those given administrators and let them know that they have this on their systems and let them correct that. But when you don't have to teach your administrators how to manipulate all of the OSs to find this data, it speeds up the process and allows you to go where you need to go. What we've also done is we've set up a series of standard reports of 250 reports that are web enabled. So you can access this should you want to via the web. Say your manager doesn't care specifically about a specific file, but he wants to know what his total utilization is on the systems. Using the web-based, he can quickly on a daily basis or whenever he needs to goes down, clicks it up, and it lets him know what's going on in his environment. We've also set it up so that it does the forecasting. And what it's doing is it's looking at the different systems, the different file systems that are out there, and gathering the data, it finds the trend. It will come up and it will notify you that at July 16th, you're going to run out of storage on this file system, this server, or in your total environment. This lets you be proactive when you start, especially in the storage arena where cost and factor and when people have pressure down on you that cost can increase. Instead of being in the react mode where you're trying to catch up all the time, you can actually forward look, get the best price that you need out there, and get it installed. Action sets that we utilize here, we've set up the system so instead of, a good example is we want you, every day, I want you to go out and I want you to find a certain exe files and I want you to take those to tape for me. Well, instead of the administrator going from box to box, or a good example is if they're doing backups via tape and they also have a video jukebox out there. You can set this up so that instead of going from box to box and sending that data to those given devices, I can set up an action set that says, as simply as at midnight, I want you to go find my 100 largest files that haven't been accessed in 10 months. I want you to take that, I want you to push it over to the video, okay, and drop it to a CD-ROM, and then I want you to delete those files. So automatically you've already taken it, archived the data that you might need for future reference, and cleared up your systems. And it's as simple as everything that we have here is just a simple point and click, drop and drag. So there's no series of command lines, there's no, I have to learn how in the Solaris box, how I do a delete on it. I don't have to learn how NT does it. I can just simply click it, drag it over, give it a designation. I can tell it that I want it to notify me, I want it to delete it, I want it to do whatever you can do. And it's simple and easy.